Welcome to episode 367 of In Touch with iOS. The show talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Vision Pro, Mac, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and we are recording this at Macstock 9. We're real excited. I'm sitting around this boardroom table in front of all my great friends here hanging out with us. And first, I'm going to introduce everybody who's here. First off, it's Jeff Gamet. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing awesome, and the fact that we're all here is just super cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
We have. And also here is Marty Jencius. Great to see you in person. How you doing, Marty?
It's good to be. It's good to be here. It's all of you occupy space in 3 dimensions. It's kind of nice. Which is just the video.
Eric Bolden, he is here as well. How are you doing?
Really good.
Yeah, it's great to have. We're having a lot of fun here. We'll have to tell everybody how the adventures of getting this show off the ground here. Chuck Joyner is here with us. I'm so excited to have him here and seeing him in person since it's been a while. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing great, David. I'm excited to be here. And you're right. This is just fun having everybody in one room instead of just little squares on a screen.
Absolutely. And Brittany Smith, surprised that she's here with us. I'm so excited she's on the show. It's been a while.
Who let me in?
I know. I'm glad that you made it onto the show here. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you. So we'll have to give you a little bit of background. I mean, this is going to be a fun show this week. We may not be hitting a lot of the normal things we do talk about here on the show, but we could talk about a few things here. So pre-show here, we had quite an adventure, I must say, to get this gear set up so we could be doing this show tonight for you. But that's how dedicated we are to get a great episode out here. We're going to have a blast. This is being recorded on Thursday night, so it's the eve of the first day of Macstock. So we're going to have some great time. I'm speaking on Saturday, so I got a full day of getting things in. Marty, great to have you here. You're speaking tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And are you ready?
Yeah.
I will neither confirm it.
I will neither confirm or deny. Reports that I am not ready.
And yes, it's going to be a great thing. And Eric, it's great that you came down here. And this was there's quite a mishmash of stuff we had to get here. I got at least 2 USB mics. Try to get my Rodecaster going here with XLR mics. Jeff and I are sharing a mic, so we really got dedicated here to get this show off the ground here.
I'm going to love watching you tear all of this down. I have no idea what the spaghetti mess is.
We're going to have to figure out what's mine and what's Marty's. So go ahead.
And, we should point out, too, that we do have a studio audience tonight, which is
recorded live.
Recording live. Our studio audience, Web Bixby is here. Cindy, Chuck's better half is here, and my wife, Kathy, is here. Is there another guest? And just have Barry Falk just join us.
Hi, good afternoon. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, great to have him here. So we got quite a crowd here, so this is going to be a lot of fun here. So first off, I'm going to start off with an interesting experience this past week. I was on Vision Profiles. It was just before the show on Monday, and had my Vision Pro ready to upgrade to beta Vision OS 26. Thought it went well, but what happened was it bricked. So I had the D-band mask on the front of it because I have one of those masks that we thought that was really cool, and Marty has one. We've talked about it, and so I couldn't see the screen because it does put the Apple logo on the screen on the Vision Pro, so if it's booting. So I took it off, and then sure enough, I have the triangle with the exclamation point on it. So that means it's bricked. So like an iPhone or an iPad, normally you can just, let me hook it up to my Mac and I can restore it. And because that's what basically what happened was it hosed the OS. So of course I feverishly the next morning got an appointment at the Apple store to get this fixed. And Eric, what you tell me, you had the experience, and what you told me, you warned me, and it's probably going to take 2 or 3 times for them to do it, right?
Yeah. It happened for me twice, but quite a while ago, and went in and they tried it a couple of times, and I said, well, you get 3 times. Mm-hmm. And if you do it in 3 times, you're good. If not, then they have to send it in. So sounds like you were lucky and got it on 2.
Yeah. Yes.
I texted Dave and said, Dave, while you're there, just pick up a
Yeah. I said,
I borrow Chuck's, right?
you know,
Don't start, Jeff.
yeah. And then I said, yeah, you need to, you share me your credit card. Yeah, I got a really, really good tech. He was really cool. The first go around, he brought it to the back room, and I'm sitting at the table there, and there's this really nice older lady that had a MacBook Pro. She's trying, or I think it was a MacBook Air. It was a 2012. It was killing me that I'm sitting here listening to her. Well, like I have to install Mac OS Catalina on this machine because that's as far as it goes, and the guy trying to talk her out of getting into an iPad. So I got to listen to that fun while I was waiting. But then two of the guys that were coming in, they saw the guy was working on it. He's almost done. Don't worry. They're making sure I was aware that, and I was being very patient. So he came out, and then we did some testing, and then sure enough, it didn't work. So then, let me go grab the Mac and everything out here. I'll sit with you and we'll do it. Because you have to use this developer, like, what is it? The developer cable, the developer dongle.
Developer strap.
Strap, that's it. $299 strap that you have to have. I got very tempted. I said, well, if you got one and I can order it and I can use my business discount, I might do it because I can get like 15% off. But then
We'll sell you, right?
oh, they will.
They will?
You can buy it. Yeah, you can buy it.
Oh,
So.
all right.
So, but they didn't have them. That he couldn't place the order because I had to do it because they had to scan my QR code for work that I have for discount.
Oh.
So then he went through it a second time because then I tried it on. It's like, yeah, oh no, the battery light's flashing. So it's flashing. I said, I don't think this is working right. Oh, let me go get the battery from the back and hook it up. So then he did that, and then so then he got the Mac, and then did the restore again, and then looked like finally it took, and then I just started doing the backup, but then I had to rush because it's very important to come back and be ready for Mac Voice Live. So I knew it was okay, so I could go back later and get it restored. So it was great. And it's always an amazing experience at the Apple Store, I must say, when it comes to that. So, and there's my story of the Vision Pro and Vision Pro this week. Chuck, you had the story about the CEO of X, Twitter, that is going to be leaving us. Can you give a little bit on that? I know you read that.
Yeah, I've read what probably everyone has had available. Just Linda Iaccarino is stepping down as CEO of X. She's been there for 2 years, and it's just one of those very quiet, very, no bad accusations against anyone. My theory is that as Elon Musk is getting out of Doge, and well, at least it looked like he was getting out of Doge. Now he's getting in a political party. One way or another, he's probably going to start spending more time at X. And it just seems like maybe she just doesn't want to deal with that. I haven't read that. That's pure theory.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of us were surprised to see her take that post. And then it seemed like he was so distracted with SpaceX and Tesla. Can't say that he's got so many companies after a while that, those were a good distraction, and she was sort of left alone to do what she was doing with X.
Yeah.
And now, maybe not, but one way or another, she's out.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a hypothesis.
You always do.
I just came up with this one. All right. So I felt like when Musk hired her, he hired her with the long-term goal of using her as a scapegoat, which is just a horrible thing to do in general, but there you go. And now that he has more time, supposedly, to devote to X, he can come back in and he can throw her under the bus if he doesn't like what's happening. She may be gracefully exiting before she gets hit with that bus.
And the other thing, too, I saw that apparently Grok had some problems in the last few days. But the word is that she had talked to several people about resigning before that whole mess started. So I don't think that's related. It just may be coincidental, but I don't think it's related.
Okay. Next topic, Amazon Prime Day. I think we got excited this week to buy some stuff this week. Marty, did you spend some money?
No.
Really?
No, because Oh, because I had to spend money buy things for part of my presentation. And I had to have it before Amazon Prime Day sales started. So I got everything that I needed outside of the Prime window. But yeah, I couldn't. I tried, but there were things like, we're on our way to Macstock. And
well, I'll give you mine in a minute. But Eric, did you buy anything from Prime? Did you?
No, I had the same problem. I needed all that chicken wire well before Prime Day.
That's right. If everybody doesn't know, he does have a chicken coop and lots of chickens. So, Chuck, did you resist? I know you were looking.
On the way out here, David suggested something, so it's in my cart right now. But I have not pushed the button.
Do it.
But I did buy 2 pairs of pliers earlier this week. So that was my big Amazon Prime purchase.
How about you, Brittany? Did you get anything?
Who had time to look at Amazon this week?
Well, there is that.
Well, there's still a day left, Britt.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to think about during Macstock is
Sitting
Amazon.
in the audience as you're surfing on Amazon. Right?
Did you know Walmart was trying to do a copycat one?
Of course.
And Target.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Like, at least do it at a different time. Your marketing's not as good. I didn't open the app to get prescriptions. I wouldn't even know.
How about you, Jeff? Did you get anything?
No, I didn't even look. As Brittany pointed out, who had time? We've all been preparing for Macstock.
It's true. I wanted to, I didn't need any more Alexa products to tell me to buy more Amazon stuff.
Just male voice asked me, there's something in your carts. You want to buy this? No. So what I did get was the Elgato teleprompter. The teleprompter price was way down. It was originally, I think, $289 or $279. It was down to $189. Wow. So,
still,
I decided to go with that. So, but I was able to push out the delivery until next week, so I don't have to worry about it sitting on my porch.
I've got some tips.
Yeah, so we might be doing a segment on that sometime soon here. So, but I always wondered what everybody else did. I know Prime did very well this year. A lot of things being sold. I bought a lot of personal products that were a better price than I normally get. But with supplements I get and things like that. So I made sure I bought those things because it was like sometimes $5-10 less than I normally pay. So there's that. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about HomeKit and specifically Belkin. Belkin ended support for most of its Wemo devices. This was announced this week, actually today, as we record. It says Belkin today has informed customers that it is ending technical support for older Wemo devices with the service set to end on January 31st, 2026. When that date rolls around, some Wemo devices will no longer be accessible through the Wemo app. And Belkin says that it's been that any features that were in the cloud connectivity, such as remote access and voice assistance integrations, will stop working. Wemo products configured with HomeKit before January 31st, 26 will continue to function in HomeKit without needing Wemo Cloud services or the Wemo app. Google Home users will not be able to continue to use them. So, Jeff, you being the HomeKit guru, are you surprised about this?
Actually, yes, I am, and this underscores an ongoing problem people are experiencing in the Internet of Things smart home device market, which is you invest money in a whole product line and you're at the mercy of the company. At some point, they are all saying, and we're not supporting that anymore. And then you have e-waste at that point. Unless the company says, we'll go ahead and open source the code for managing this product so then the community can take it over. But that almost never happens. So you end up with all these devices that you can't use. Now, what happens when someone has a bunch of these Wemo devices that are currently working on HomeKit, but HomeKit breaks, and which happens regularly, and they have to reset their entire HomeKit setup and start from scratch, and now they can't re-add these devices because they weren't already in the system?
Eric, you have any thoughts on HomeKit with that, with Wemo?
Well, since I hadn't heard about this until just now.
Well, this is fresh in my mind. I thought you'd give me some
thought is
your immediate thoughts.
Oh, darn. I have a bunch of these.
Right?
As do I.
And now I'm going to have to never reset HomeKit. Yeah, no, this is not good news.
Yeah. Yep. How about you, Marty? You have any of the Wemo?
I have Wemo, and it's close to my heart.
That's right.
I find setting up HomeKit so frustrating, and then you have a partner in your house who doesn't abide by not turning off lights manually, and it just creates problems in your HomeKit and problems in your relationship, and so, I'm back in the Stone Age with that, and I just have never had faith that HomeKit's going to stay stable, whatever I do with it. But I have quite a few Wemo devices.
Kind of sad it's happening. Chuck, you said you got a bunch of them that's going to affect you.
I have some too, although I want to hear more from Marty about how it affects his relationships, because that sounds like there's a good story there somewhere.
Yeah, I could draw you a picture.
He could.
I do set up some automation when we leave the house, and I have to follow my wife around to make sure she doesn't turn lights off that I have intentionally on, so I can run them like when I'm in Chicago.
I think I know what my session at Macstock next year should be, which is how to set up HomeKit or smart home in your home without destroying your marriage.
I'd like taking the pull chains off of lights, so she can't actually turn them off. It's just I just have not had success with that. If she ever goes before me, I might try and automate my house, but right now it's a house of cards.
I don't know if this will work for you or not, but we have designated rooms. I am not allowed to automate anything in his art room, and he doesn't touch the switch in my office.
Yeah. I have one thing automated in my office, and I ask for the A-lady to turn the lights on and turn the lights off. That's about as much automation as I have.
But I love your analog approach to this, Marty. I think this is great. Take the pull chains off. That just solves the whole problem.
So, sad to happen, but, that's the way things go, unfortunately. Other story I want to talk about here is, again, this is all fresh news, so that's what's kind of fun today, because you guys are going to find out about it as soon as I talk about it. The NFL, they have apps rolling out on CarPlay, starting with these teams. So this was spotted this week. The NFL apps that are being rolled out on CarPlay, which is the Chicago Bears, Buffalo Bills, and the New Orleans Saints. Both will have their dedicated apps. Now will be in CarPlay. So that'll give them the options to be able to list. You can listen to the games, and you can do it right from the app. If you're local, I'm sure that's.
Can I bet with Bitcoin? Can I bet with Bitcoin while I'm driving?
You do that. So
honk 3 times for 2 Bitcoin.
So the New Orleans Saints just was added this week. All 3 apps are developed by a company called Yinscam, which says that it develops the official apps for a total of 25 NFL teams, 18 NHL teams, 17 NBA teams, and 16 MLS teams, and there's more.
Dave, I didn't quite get the name of the
I was
company.
happy
Could you
to
say it again.
Yinscam.
Part of the company name is scam. Shouldn't this be a concern?
It's Yinzcam. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah. It's the British spelling.
It wasn't the spelling that troubled me.
So I'm Dave. You're seeing this, and we haven't seen it, right? So the app is only a CarPlay app. So it's
it's an app normally on the iPhone.
Okay, so it's an iOS app that will be available.
So now you can use. It's got a CarPlay component to it now.
Okay,
so it allows you to be able to launch the app and be able to access some of that information from the CarPlay. Of course, you're not going to be able to watch games or no video or any of that kind of stuff. But, it'd be like listening to the game. When the games are live on the Sundays, you should be able to listen to the games as long as you're local. You'll be able to listen to any other. If they have any other news stories or podcasts or any of that kind of stuff, I think they'll probably add that too as well.
But is there a subscription to any of this?
No, it's just any of the stuff that's normally with the NFL, because right now, like in the case, we know Chicago Bears, so being Chicago Bear fans, they're on I believe ESPN is the local station here, so you actually can listen to the games locally on those stations, but you can't listen to them outside the stations unless you're like a subscriber to like SiriusXM does it, and if you subscribe to the NFL app, you can listen to it that way. But I believe these are going to be allowing you to be able to listen to them locally for each team.
So free app, no subscription, that allows you to complain about the team without spending any money.
Okay, but I got to get a little down and geeky on this.
Sure.
When you say local, so are you saying it's going to do a GPS tracking so that
it'll know if you're in the state or in the location where that team's covered?
Okay, so
because that happens now with the baseball teams. Like if you want to listen to the Chicago Cubs on 670 The Score is Chicago, that's on Odyssey, which is CBS stations. As long as you're in Illinois in the coverage area where the Chicago Cubs are part of that market, you can listen to them free on the radio. So it's kind of similar to that when it comes to being able to listen to the game.
But if they weren't geo-tracking you, how would they make their money by selling your information?
Right.
But you could VPN your phone.
You could VPN your phone. Yes, you can.
They think you'd be driving in Kansas when you're really.
That's brilliant. This whole thing underscores what I see as a huge problem for this industry. The headline should be, good news, Major League Sports franchises have found yet another way to treat their fans like crap. They make it incredibly difficult for anyone to be able to watch or listen to the content that they want for whatever sport they're interested in. And this is just another example of that.
And this is different from Facebook. How?
Apparently more people like it. That's
People like Facebook too. They're just not in this room.
fair.
So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. I found this to be interesting. You're going to find out this another for the first time. Apple is now accepting 3 new Android devices for trade-in. Believe it or not. Following the introduction of Samsung's new latest foldables, this week Apple today began accepting 3 new flagship Android devices for trade-in. So the 3 devices that they have right now, they're going to take a trade-in for is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which is up to $405. Okay. And then the Galaxy S24, which will be up to $290. Then the Google Pixel 8 Pro, which is at $205. Prices are, and those prices are pretty solid. And it looks like you also can get trades for the S23s and as well as the Note 20 Ultra and the Google Pixel 7. And those prices, of course, are lower. Start $330, $180, $135, and $120. You find it, Chuck, surprising that Apple's taking trades? I mean, I think it's not really surprising. They're getting people to switch.
They're getting people to switch, but my guess is I'm doing a Jeff Gamet hypothesis here.
I'm so proud of you.
That there are components in there or enough precious metals or whatever that they can mine out of there that it actually becomes a good deal for them. So I don't think this is a switcher campaign as much as it is they can figure out some way to cannibalize those to their benefit.
I think you're wrong.
That's nothing new, Jeff.
All right, so I think this is about getting switchers. and they're willing to eat the recycle value of these phones, because once you get someone into the ecosystem, it's easier to keep them there. So go ahead and eat it on the Android trade-in, and now keep these people buying new subscriptions, new phones, whatever. It's the iPhone's a gateway drug into the rest of the Apple ecosystem.
Okay, so let me ask, and I am not an Android phone aficionado at all. So, David, you used the word flagship. Are these high-end models? Current high-end models?
Yes.
Okay.
The Galaxy S24 is their high-end, the Ultra especially. I think those retail from anywhere from $1,200 to $1,400. Those are the really expensive ones when they first came out.
Oh. So it's really the Android users.
Yeah, exactly. Because they are. Because
here's $400 for the phone.
I think that phone is maybe a year or two old. I mean, but that shows you right there the depreciation value of the Androids is just ridiculous. I mean, compared to iPhone. So the Pixel 8 Pro, I actually have that model, and I remember when we purchased it, and it was purchased with a family member, we paid around $800. So, and they're offering $205. So look how much that dropped within a year.
Wow.
Well, the 8 was last year, 9 is now this year. Yeah. So that's the thing. The Android, it just dramatically drops in price. So I think anything of the ploy is, like we said, is the fact that that Apple is going to wants to get people in the door and wants them to switch.
Thanks for having my back, Dave.
See, I think that Apple's getting ready for a foldable phone.
Yes.
And they want to go after all the Android users who tried foldable phones and give them one that doesn't have a crease.
And Samsung just announced foldable phones.
Just came out. They're about to come out. So, it's going to be interesting where that goes. Meanwhile, Apple did lower the prices on their trade-in values, so I won't go through all of them. But this week, it was announced that starting with the 15 Pro Max trade, it was $630 to drop $30 now to $600, and so on and so forth. You're starting to see, but we're actually as you got the 15 Pro, which went from $480 to $500. So I guess it's varying which models are going up and down. I mean, not surprising. It was interesting when I was in the Apple store again on the Vision Pro topic. There was a guy I was overhearing him tell people, because the lady was having a problem with her Apple Watch, and he just flat out said, I couldn't believe it. He said, you're only going to get like $50 for that trade. You should buy it, or you could probably take it and sell it on the third-party market and sell it there. You make more money. And Apple employees telling this to a customer. So I just was.
It's always been really low for the Apple trade-ins.
Apple Watch is the worst. Yeah, I mean, right now I have the Series 9. I held on to it because of the heart rate, not the heart rate, the oxygen sensor.
Me too.
You're only going to get like $150 for it or something for trade now. So that was interesting to see where that went to when it comes to that. There's been lots of rumors when it comes to the iPhone 17. I'm frankly, I haven't really wanted to talk too much about it because it's just so much crazy stuff. They are, like you just said, you mentioned the foldable iPhone display production. They're said it's already beginning production ahead of the launch next year. So, again, this is all rumor. So I guess Apple is working on this foldable phone. I'm honestly surprised. What do you think, Jeff? Do you think it's something that Apple really wants is getting into this market just because everybody else is?
Nope.
So you're thinking that they're not going to do it?
I don't think Apple's coming out with a foldable phone, at least not for a while. I'm sure they have them in their labs, and they've had them for a while, but I don't think the screen technology is there. It's not at the level that Apple wants it for their products. So they're not going to bring a foldable phone to market. And if they can't do anything more than just say, and now it's a foldable iPhone, then there's not a lot of value in it for Apple. When they bring something out, they want it to be the thing where it's like, okay, so everyone has a foldable phone, but here's how to do it right. And here are the other things that need to be part of it for it to be a true foldable phone. and we're not there.
Any thoughts? What do you think, Chuck, on the foldable phone?
I don't feel good about a foldable phone.
I don't.
I feel good. I feel better about a foldable iPad.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to get folded as often. And it makes more sense to have more space on something that it seems to be moving. Apple's trying to move it toward being a productivity device.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love my iPhone, and it is a productivity device, but it has limitations.
Right.
I'm not sure that unfolding it's going to really add to that. And I'm still
Bigger screen,
screen, but explain
the folds there.
Well, not only that, but unfortunately, folks, you can't see it, but Dave's holding out. I want to know how you're going to hold a foldable phone that's unfolded.
Yeah.
And
I've watched people with these Samsung ones.
It's like holding an iPad mini to your head.
Yeah.
But the iPad mini, you don't have to worry about snapping shut.
Yeah.
The iPad mini is just
fixed.
It's a small iPad.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of figure out how I might be able to use a foldable iPad. I'm still not sure exactly how I'm going to use a foldable phone.
Yep.
The unfolding action is a level of friction. Like if that's really the best screen and the one that you're theoretically wanting to use, that is going to be less smooth of an interaction than just pulling your phone out of your pocket and looking at it.
I think the only person in the room that's owned a foldable phone.
Yes.
Two of them.
I've never owned one.
No.
I got to say, I think they have a market there. And most of the work that I did with my foldable phone was on the external screen. It wasn't on the open screen, but the open screen came in handy for a lot of things. Pleat, or whatever you want to call it, the fold, the difference between the previous phones before I actually bought one and then the Pixel that I bought was incredible. Even more so the Samsung, the Samsung Fold, Z Fold that I got. I think there's a market out there for them. I like the idea of Apple adding something to it other than just open it up. You got a big display. But I do think people enjoy that. And I don't see it any different than a foldable iPad, really, in terms of use.
You feel like some of the market is people whose primary computing device is their phone, so then they have another option? That's my dad.
I mean, I sat at a Cubs game watching some guy in front of me with a foldable Samsung Z Fold, and I spent a lot of time watching him because the Cubs weren't doing well that day. And really got fascinated to watch him on how he used it in terms of work. But then when I got one and experienced it for a while, and finally said, this is great, but this is not my ecosystem. And it's too hard for me to take the ecosystem I have on everything else and try.
I held one and they're fun to hold. I don't have any desire to have one.
Oh,
but
you like the mini, so
they were pretty and fun to hold.
Would it make a difference if you could fold it and be the same size as iPhone 13 mini?
Yeah, but let's talk about physics in our current timeline.
Yeah, it'll never happen.
I did like the Pixel, which folded up to like a pack of cigarettes. You could drop it in. The Z Fold was just a long phone, and it folded or unfolded. You had this long thing in your pocket.
Marty, you said you watched this guy do it. I'm kind of curious. I mean, we know that we hold our phone and usually manipulate it with the other hand. If you're typing, you might hold it in both hands and thumb type.
You have to, Chuck.
Stylus. Well, okay, but
just
Brittany's picking on me. But how did this guy? I mean,
Stylus.
A stylus.
He did all of his stuff.
So Samsung's had the stylus.
You have a stylus.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have an additional friction point because now I've got to pull the stylus. I assume it's out of a
it ejects out of the side of the phone. Uh-huh.
So now,
or you can buy cases that have it sit as like you see with iPads where they have the pencil.
Okay, so now we go back to Brittany's comment about friction. Anytime I unfold it and want to use it as an unfolded phone, I have to pull out a stylus.
I mean, I recommend you put grains of sand in it and then fold it up.
All right. So at what point do we stop calling these devices phones? If we're going to make them too big to use with one hand, we're going to make them so you have to fold them up or unfold them so you get the bigger screen. We're not talking about phones anymore. We're talking about pocket computers that have a radio receiver transmitter for phone calls as well. And it's almost like an incidental thing. So if we're going to go down that path, then I think it's time for all these companies to like really embrace that and stop talking about these as our smartphones, because they're too big. And as Brittany pointed out, friction points, too many friction points for these to be phones. If I can't use a device like this one-handed and I don't have the big iPhone, then it's not a phone for me anymore.
Some of us have big hands.
Okay, so I've got my witty bitty widow hands. I need a witty bitty widow phone.
Well, mine are whittlier and biddlier.
So go on, tell me more.
That's fine, the mini.
Not correct. Let's move on.
Witty bitty bitty.
And I haven't had any wine.
All right.
Neither has Brittany.
I need more.
All right, here we go. Another story
But
here.
I have been awake since 3:30.
Another surprise for everybody here. OpenAI is going to launch an AI web browser. OpenAI is planning to produce. He laughs about this. See,
And
we got a face palm from Eric. So it would be available as an alternate to Safari and Google Chrome's. This was reported, and the AI-powered web browser is close to being released and launched, and the debut in the coming weeks. The OpenAI browser would use AI, of course, artificial intelligence, to change how consumers browse the web. It will give OpenAI access to the very web search data that is allowed by Google Chrome to remain its top browser option. OpenAI has asked Google's search data to improve, so search GPT, as they call it in the past. So it's but Google did refuse that, so they aren't going to let them to do that. So what do you guys think? I'm going to get on Eric because he's cracking up about this. You think this is crazy?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid you can't do that. Yeah. That's a Marty question.
you got to not ask Aaron questions about AI. It's just not fair. He is known violator of AI. He's just using that 26-volume encyclopedia, like I like to say, for his resources.
He has an extra index.
I don't see how this is any different. Integrating it into a web browser versus just going to the Chat GPT page and signing into your account and doing it that way, or in some cases like Perplexity, using the app.
You just hit on exactly why they would want to do this, because people go to ChatGPT in their web browser to perform these searches, and a lot of people are using tools like ChatGPT in place of Google as an internet search engine. So if you already have people using your product to perform these searches, why not go the extra step and capture that user completely and give them the full browser experience with your search engine built in?
People who are using ChatGPT as a search engine are I was going to say stupid.
And yet here we are. It's a thing.
Yeah. That's not the purpose of the tool. I mean, it's not the best use of it.
Right. But it's a way people are using this. And I agree with you. That's not the right use for a tool like ChatGPT. but it's a thing that people are doing. And if you already have an audience that's doing that, and you want to take market share from Google, then lean into it.
So are we talking about the foldable? Are we talking about the foldable?
And now we're back to the foldable iPhone. Yep. But I mean, I think the whole thing is stupid. That said, it makes sense for them to lean into the stupid because so many people are doing it already. Make the product that is going to hook them in and just basically suck them in permanently, if you will, into the OpenAI ecosystem. I don't like it, but it makes sense for them to do it.
I'm going to look at it a different way. I could see this being a value add, so that if I ask ChatGPT a question, it gives me the same response this in a browser, but it also then can, show me where it got things or the things that contributed to its answer in a web browser kind of interface. So that now not only do I have the answer I'm looking for, but I also, without any additional queries or requests for, can you give me the citation and give me the link? It's just right there for me. So I hear what you guys are saying, but I think you may be missing that potential value add that the graphical interface of a browser brings to versus the text interface of ChatGPT at the moment.
Sounds like you're talking about Perplexity.
I have not spent any time with Perplexity, Jeff, so maybe I am.
Yeah. Set yourself up with a free Perplexity account and then start doing some of those things that you've experimented with in ChatGPT. And I think you'll be surprised at how closely it mimics what you're describing right now, where it breaks everything down for you, gives you the citations, gives you a graphic representation. An example, I did a search for replacements for Harmony Remote. And it gave me basically an article and with the links back to all of its sources, and then it explained why each of these different products would be best in certain situations, and then broke it down. If you're an iPhone user, these are the ones to look at. If you're a Mac user, if you're an Android user, and then there's this table with everything listed out too. It was surprising how much better the presentation of information was compared to what I was getting with the same type of queries in ChatGPT.
You using, I'm going down this rabbit.
That's all right. We've already hijacked the show from Dave.
Yeah. Were you using the supplemental pieces in ChatGPT, like the web search function and the deep research?
No.
Not WebCT.
I know what you meant. No, what I did was I compared it, just the free login that you can do on each to see what I got. And so I'm assuming that if I was using a paid version of ChatGPT, the information that I got back would have been more robust, probably formatted better, more useful.
Yeah, I ran a query recently on ChatGPT, and it took 2.5 hours for it to generate a response for me. That's how complicated
That's why I lost power that day.
And I got it's great for the environment. And I got back really a lot of garbage that wasn't what I wanted, which surprised me because usually it's spot on. And it took 2 hours. Took the same prompt and put it in Perplexity, and within a minute and a half, I had what I wanted. Not at the depth that ChatGPT did the analysis on it, but what I needed at the moment.
And it didn't take 2 hours.
And those were both paid accounts.
Okay, but Jeff, your point is really interesting, and I think maybe we're missing it. That maybe OpenAI is not going after Google. OpenAI is protecting itself from Perplexity because Google is already screwing things up. You know, they're they're having issues with, the amount of junk they're putting into the searches. So maybe AI is looking over across the street at Perplexity and saying, that's where our competition is. Google's shooting themselves in the foot. We got to protect ourselves from Perplexity.
Sure. Yep. I think you're right. Also, Google is trying to do the same thing. So all of these companies that want to have that AI internet search market, they all have to jump in and play the game.
Put the same exact query into Copilot, and I have a Copilot. It gave me this almost exactly the same response that I got out of Perplexity. Yeah. Completely different than ChatGPT.
All right. I think we've beat this to death a little bit here. So, no, but it was a great conversation. Appreciate the insights on this. I had a feeling this would have become a good discussion. And
well, welcome to Dave's new show, In Touch with AI.
Yeah, well, I was adding that as a segment once in a while here. So,
and Eric survived the segment.
He did survive.
Barely.
So before we go here, we're going to wrap up. But again, we're here at Macstock. This is an absolutely blast. I can't wait for the weekend to come up here. We're starting bright and early tomorrow morning. We're getting in the late night here recording this show, and should have this. You should be hearing this a couple days after we are well into Macstock. But if you didn't make it, then you definitely can go on macstockconferenceexpo.com and check out the virtual pass, because that will be available to purchase at the end of the show. About 30 days usually Mike Potter takes to record all the videos and get that all out on the site. It's not that expensive. It's around $99. Well worth it, and you're going to get some great content. We'll be all talking about some great discussions here. We'll recap it next week when we get back and back into our normal places out on the virtual where we normally are here. So let's go and wrap up for this week. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can watch it. You can follow us on BlueSky and Mastodon at InTouchWithIOS. Support the show by me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We'd really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We'd really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe when you're notified when we are normally live streaming, which is on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, which is on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios, where you can watch the current and past live streams as well as listen to past shows. Visit In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, where many of the topics we discuss are flipped into that magazine. The link is in our show notes. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, and many others. But better yet, go to our website, intouchwithios.com, where all the links there to all the ways to listen to us is there on that site. I am Dave Ginsburg. You can find me on BlueSky and Mastodon at DaveG65. Marty Jencius, thank you for helping me set up, and we had a great time, and we got some teardown to do after the show, but where can people find you?
You can find me at Jencius, Jencius, at mastodon.social, and also BlueSky Jencius. Vision Profiles on Monday night with Dave, and of course with Eric at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. With Chuck on Tuesdays, and Mac Voices again at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on YouTube with you, Dave, on Thursdays for In Touch with iOS, and occasionally when they let us on, they let the Americans back in their country. The Mac Show, Friday mornings. Most of my stuff you can find in terms of the podcasts at thepodtalk.net. As you mentioned, my son is here with me at Macstock, and we'll be talking about one of our podcasts, or the topic of our podcast, Gear Up and Go with Tech Travel.
Great, thanks. Jeff Gamet, thank you always for being here. Where can people find you?
All right, well, when I'm not putting together a presentation, wow. People, I've been up since 4:30 a.m. Chicago time. It's a wonder I can form sentences at all. Wow. Let me try that again. When I'm not working on presentations for Macstock, you can find me online on social medias as J Gamet, pretty much everywhere. I'm active right now on Mastodon and BlueSky and PixelFed. Then for shows. Okay, at Macstock, I always screw it up. Let's see what happens. Tuesdays on Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices Live. Here on Thursdays with you for In Touch with iOS. On the British Tech Network for The Big Show and The Mac Show. Brian Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch. And that's a first. I got through everything here at Macstock without screwing it up.
Well done. And Eric Bolden. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. It's always great to see you in person. I'm sort of excited this week and to hang out with you at Macstock. Where can people find you?
I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden at mas.to.
All right. Chuck Joyner, thank you for being here. Great to see you in person. Where can people find you?
MacVoices.com. That's where you'll find everything I do. Several of you have already mentioned Mac Voices Live on Tuesday nights at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. And on all the socials, you can find me as at Chuck Joyner. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Great fun. And unfortunately, Brittany Smith had to step out, but she was here on the show. We really appreciate her being here and thank her for being here and hanging out with us during Macstock.
ADD Liberator.
That's right. You find her at ADD Liberator on all the socials and her YouTube channel.
She bring back donuts.
I think they must have. So there's donuts. So, well, let's go wrap up before you have a donut here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.